Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the place to be. We're breaking down Bucks Monday, November 20th. Bucks at Wizards. Bucks come in at 9-4. Wizards come in at 2-10. And I'm just an old guy that talks about hoops. No advanced analytics, no insider info, just vibes and eye tests. What makes me qualified is I've been a Bucks fan since Moncrief went back-to-back Defensive Players of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
Joined with my normal crew here today. Welcome, everybody.
Bucks, thank you. Glad to be
coming
back.
in at 4 wins in a row versus the lonely Wizards, who are coming in at 2-10. And they have Jordan Poole on the roster, Milwaukee's own, out of Rufus King.
That's right. That's right. Looked like child's play tonight a little bit for Giannis. They didn't have a soul that could guard him.
Right.
I don't know what you guys thought about that.
Yeah, definitely no one to match up with Giannis, and come in with an extremely small backcourt. Jordan Poole and Tyus Jones.
Yep. No length.
Sure. That was definitely a game that was first quarter. We started off hot with Dame and Giannis. I think they assisted and started on like 25 or some of our 28 points in the first quarter. So I mean, our 31. I think it was 25 or 31 first quarter points. So it's always good to see them getting all involved early with against those scrubs.
It seemed like they got it together by the end of the first quarter, but they got down 13-5 before they were able to reel them back. Chris was pretty bad early, turnovers and missed shots.
And a free throw.
And a free throw, right? One thing I noticed is your boy AJ Green got first quarter minutes.
I like seeing that. I don't know if you guys saw that podcast with Dame the other day. A little sneak peek. It's coming out tomorrow. But a little insight on Pat is he was the middleman of getting that trade involved. I don't know if you guys have heard anything on that, but apparently when he was a rookie in Portland, he was trying to get Giannis and Dame to team up. And then when he went to Milwaukee, that's when they started a group chat together. And then now they finally made it happen. So Pat was kind of the middleman in that trade to get Dame to Milwaukee. So I think he's earned his keep no matter how well he plays. He got his Dame.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of the podcast?
It is like Knuckleheads. Comes out tomorrow. The podcast releases. So
interesting. So they've been in a group chat for years.
Yeah, apparently this has been in the works for a while. And I mean, I remember seeing talk somewhere like that they were going to be, they were trying to get in the works of a team together, but it finally happened in Milwaukee. It's the place to be.
Yep. Staying on the Pat note, did you see the new nickname we got straight out of Connington?
Yeah. I was just about to say that too.
Yeah.
Straight out of Connington.
Drew, what do we think?
Double thumbs down for that. And I don't know if right before they got into Pat straight out of Connington, they were talking about AJ Automatic. I don't know if we brought that up last podcast, but is that like A and then the J is automatic? Like you got a wet piece, your J's out. Is that what they're trying to go for there? I'm just asking, folks.
If it is, we'll give them a middle of the road.
That's mid? Okay. Yeah, so Bucks led 31-27 after one. And in the second quarter, it seemed like Chris really got things going in the mid-range.
He did. I'm trying to think that second quarter. That's really like where we put on our offense. I mean, we got to what was our total at half? We got near 70, right? Close to.
Yeah, it was basically an all-star game, back and forth. Bucks playing very little defense.
Yeah.
Wizards too.
Maybe getting ready for Wednesday, taking the night off on D, knowing we're going to score a ton.
Right. Yeah, and I was kind of getting Indiana vibes, if you will, with Giannis going off, but the Wizards just kind of hanging around. So I was kind of getting concerned and, just didn't want to see that happen. But
maybe it's a Milwaukee sports thing. We always play down to our opponent a little bit when we play those bad teams. It's a Brewer thing. It's a Bucks thing. I mean, we tend to succeed against the top teams and always play down to our opponent against the bottom teams.
Well, it's weird with Griffin. I don't know if it's just the coaching change or what, but like we don't we're struggling in our fast break with Giannis. Even if like we don't score in fast break, and Washington is like a top 10 team in fast break. They're a quick young team. They like to run and gun, and I think they had like 15 to our 2 points in transition tonight. So I mean, that's a big difference right there. Is that fast break?
I mentioned this to Nick earlier that I saw it pop up on the screen that we were out rebounding them like 44-26 at one point, and I'm like, how is this a 4-point game? So we dove into the stats and found that fast break point stat, and it's just amazing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and we weren't taking care of the ball tonight either. I think Washington took care of the ball very well. They had like 4 turnovers to our like 12 or 13. So I mean, that's a big difference there too.
Drew?
I think they were feeding off the crowd, dude. That's probably the biggest crowd they've had since the last time the Bucks were in Washington.
Yeah. And when Giannis was there last year, he had 55 too one time. So I think that might have been Pfizer, but he's must watch. So he
playing in DC is it's like an Expos game, dude. There's dozens of people in the crowd. You can hear individual chants.
Well, the other part of that too, it's the Dame factor now with Giannis. I mean, I was texting you guys that other day in the Orlando game I wanted to go to, but the ticket prices were nuts because they sell out. The Bucks are a hot commodity. People want to see them when they come to town. So
it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Wizards play in the middle of Chinatown in DC. I've been there before. It feels like you're going into a mall when you go to their arena. So
yeah,
not the greatest atmosphere. Yeah, so they led at halftime. Third quarter, Chris Middleton passed Sidney Moncrief for 4th all-time on the scoring list.
Yep, we were talking about that. Now it's happened.
He is 405 points away from reaching Big Dog. So that would put him 3rd on the list, and I don't believe he'll probably get higher than 3rd.
Yeah.
Never going to pass Giannis or Kareem.
Should do that this season, though, right? Should pass him.
Yeah. 405 points, yeah.
Barring an injury.
Yeah. Knock on wood.
Yeah, for sure.
Third quarter, Bobby got back-to-back buckets, really got heated up. Brought some energy for us.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I liked Campaign hitting a couple threes. He's got a sweet stroke this year, it seems like. Because I think me and Nick Dog, we all hated him when he was on the Suns, but starting to like him a little bit.
He gives good minutes when he's on your team. You like him a little more.
Mm-hmm.
See, I always thought he hit big shots when we were playing against the Suns in that finals run too.
He did, but then he fell off after that, and then now he's kind of getting back to that level though this year with us.
It seemed like Brooke was doing a lot of slashing tonight. He had a monster tomahawk dunk in the 3rd.
How about that pump fake he had?
In general, they were like running him off the line and running him off his jump shots, and he was getting to the cup. It was weird to see.
Mm-hmm. Definitely different seeing that big boy move.
Yeah, he hit him with that pump fake and drove all the way and slammed it. Just looking awkward, but coordinated.
But again, the Wizards just kept hanging around. Sloppy turnovers, 104-102. The Bucks led after 3. And then
ridiculous
in the 4th,
score.
What's that?
Ridiculous score after 3. Just ridiculous score.
Yeah, all-star game again.
Mm-hmm.
The Wizards actually caught us in the 4th and got the lead. Were you guys getting Jordan at that point?
Jordan Poole looked good there. I mean, I think his point total tonight was like 15 points, and he soared over that. I mean,
another guard with 30. It's another one.
Yep. Nick, what did you say about something about the Wizards? Did they announce something about Jordan Poole yesterday or something? Like there was drama?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, the Wizards announced that they were he's not a cornerstone piece of the team. And I think, honestly, now that I think about it, like when they traded for him, that's really all they were doing was just getting pieces to build up for a big trade eventually. Washington's not trying to win right now. They're just gathering pieces to eventually trade later on. That's what Jordan Poole is to them. So he's just going to
$104 million trading piece.
Yeah, I know. No one's going to want it. But that's not a cornerstone player for them. They didn't trade. I don't think they traded for him to be a future. If they did, they were dumb because as soon as Jordan got that money, his ego went straight up the roof.
Yep. And for the viewership, there's a little insight. I played on a team with him back in our middle school days, an AAU travel team for a couple weekends, and then Nick always played against him every year when he was on Playground Warriors. So
yeah, I saw him almost every tournament. Bumped into him.
We know he's if you know Spencer Rattler, he gives me Spencer Rattler vibes. Very,
for sure.
Very cocky and very I mean, I don't want to throw slander on his name, but
he's a great player and he's awesome. I definitely rooting for the kid, and I'm happy
Yeah.
he got paid. But I mean, I knew he was NBA bound when we were like 12 or 13U, and we're all just chilling, watching the 17U guys play. And his dad, Jordan Poole's dad, was a coach for Playground Elite.
Mm.
And he was coaching a 17U team, and his son is in 12, 13U. I think it was one of the two at the time. And he made Jordan play up in 17U as a 12-year-old, and he was in there getting buckets. He was this little ass kid. Go look him up in Milwaukee King, his freshman year highlights. He was no more
that's
than
what I was saying.
120 pounds.
I was just about to say my memory is being in the stands at the Kohl Center freshman year when Rufus King made it to the state championship, and he's the only freshman on the court. This little scrawny kid.
So
You're just
little.
like, he's got
Buckets.
game. Buckets.
Yeah.
Buckets.
Yeah.
I don't know how focused he is on winning right now. So I don't.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those situations. It's just going to end in a trade when the Wizards, the downfall just keeps happening. He'll get moved to a team, just like all these players. James Harden moved a million times.
He's not a championship caliber player. Like he's not. I don't think he is as far as you saw him in those timeouts. He's not involved into the coach's game plan at all. He's in his own world. His ego is insane.
Drew?
He might be a piece to a team with good veteran leadership. I mean, like he was on the Warriors, but he's not leading a team in 2023, 2020.
No, yeah, that's what I kind of meant.
Can he be a six man off the bench? Yeah, I mean he can do that. He can come get you buckets. He's done it in the playoffs. He's done it in the finals. But asking him to run a team, especially a bad team,
I'm just thinking of like
bad arena. It's not a good situation. Get him out of there. See what he can do, and if he can get a couple more games against the Bucks where he can go off for 30, that'll increase.
Here's an idea. How about him off the bench for a championship Bucks run? Would that work for you?
We can't afford that, but
yeah,
$104 million off the bench.
Nobody can really afford a $104 million bench player. Who can?
But right, I do think the appropriate role for him, minus that contract, is like a Lou Will off the bench, bucket getter, professional bucket getter.
Yeah,
that's what that role got in that contract in Washington or in Golden State. He balled out with that role and then got paid the millions. So I mean, that's what they should have cut
off against second tier players in the NBA. Against starters in the NBA, he's not that good.
Yeah. I mean, I agree for sure.
And then Giannis obviously continue to go off, but I question the Bucks' record when he's scoring, mid 40s, 50 points a game. Are they really at their best? And I'm pointing to that Indiana game again. Just seems like I don't know. The ball movement isn't great.
Yeah,
he's
we get
spending
lazy.
a majority of his energy on offense, and he's not really focused on defense. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts there?
This year specifically or historically?
Do you want? Where's the best range for him to be scoring for the Bucks to be most efficient, rather?
In the 40s.
In the 40s, okay.
I think, I don't disagree with that. I mean, it depends. I think it's what we're getting, what he's given. Damian Lillard can go for 40 as well. So I mean, it's going to be a pick and choose each night who wants to go for 40 and who wants to go for 20. I think that's what it's going to be. I don't think either's more efficient. It's just a matter of what the defense is going to give us.
Yep. It's all the other team's game plan. That's what I'm thinking. And then I saw a thing on ESPN today too. They were talking on First Take that the Bucks, this goes along too with all the ticket sales all up. We get every team's best shot kind of too. Like we come to town, everybody gets excited. So, I mean, that as well. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. Beasley was chirping again with someone in the front row. Giannis had like 9 dunks. Did he get to 10 dunks? I think I lost count at like 9. Which is getting to the rack constantly.
How was he from the line tonight? Does anybody know? Yeah, I thought he made more than he missed. Like
it felt like he was pretty efficient, but I don't have the stats.
Yeah.
At times, I noted here that Dame kind of looked bored.
I mean,
it's kind of winning. I don't know.
A Monday night game after beating Dallas, it's kind of against Washington. I mean, how is it? It's tough to get super interested into that game, but I think he's He wants
Yeah.
to win. I think in that podcast clip, you'll see, if you want to look it up, it's called Knuckleheads. Look it up again, and you'll see like the little clip of him talking how invested he is in winning with him and Giannis. The first 5 minutes they saw each other, they immediately talked for an hour and a half of like what they want for each other and what they want to do with each other. So,
I'm looking forward to that.
yeah, it's gonna be a good podcast. I'm tuning in for sure for that.
Drew, do you have something to chime in? Looks like you're trying to get in here. No?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so the other note I had is just like Giannis working extremely hard, getting fouled pretty hard on the getting hit to the floor. And I just can he continue to play this style of play year after year? It seemed tonight he had that like turnaround bank shot going down on the
Yep.
post. Like I can kind of envision him evolving into more of that later in his career.
Yep. It's hard to think that way right now because everything has been like this his whole career. Everything's been up how he's looked, shredded, everything. So, I mean, he has the work ethic, so it's hard to you would think.
And he's still
Everything-
28. He's still 28. So, I mean, I think in his later years, he's going to have to change his game, obviously, like every player has to. But right now, there's no reason to stop being so dominant because there's not a match for him in any team. He's just a force down there.
Right on. So great win for the Bucks to stay hot. They finished the game winning 142-129. Wednesday night versus the Celtics should be super fun. Celtics come in at 11-2, or they're 11-2 as of tonight. Bucks are at 10-4 after the win tonight with 5 wins in a row. But that's all I got for breaking down Bucks. I appreciate y'all joining us.
Let me throw one more thing in there real quick.
Sure.
Last game, I just want to shout out Giannis becoming the the youngest player to reach 16,000 points, 7,000 rebounds, and 3,000 assists. He did it at 28 years old. It took LeBron, Larry, and Kareem to get to 31. He did it at 28. So that's just a big shout out. I'm not a big nitpick stat guy, but just when it's Giannis, I have to shout it out. So
Yeah.
Wow.
Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add in?
Looking forward to Wednesday primetime game.
go.
I'm excited.
Any predictions? Any predictions for the Wednesday game against Celtics?
Yeah, I'm saying Bucks 125, Celtics 123.
Okay, I like that.
Drew?
I think Drew. Go for it.
I'm gonna say Bucks 136, Celtics 135.
I'm gonna go Bucks 114, Celtics 111.
I'm with you. I'm going to go low scoring game too, but I just think the Bucks are going to take a little bit of a bigger win because I think the Celtics have been struggling. They just had a tough win against Memphis the other day, and then they just struggled one out tonight, I think, too. I don't know if they won it or not, actually, but
They pulled it out, but they struggled against Charlotte.
yeah. So I mean, who knows what could happen? I think we could get a dominant win against Celtics. That'd be a big.
What's your score? What's your score line?
Let's go 122 Milwaukee, Boston 108.
All right.
All right,
Yes, sir.
All 4 of us took the Bucks.
let's do it.
Well,
Let's keep it rolling.
appreciate y'all joining us. Till next time. See you Wednesday night.
Peace.
Peace.